I've been working full time. Oh, I've been grinding full time. I've been running full time. Full time. Full time. I've been chasing music full time. Been disappointed full time. But I kept it going full time. Full time. Full time. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Strategy is Her podcast. I'm your host, Satara Brown, and every week I'm showing you the unfiltered reality of betting on yourself. So today, when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, it's my second week as a full-time entrepreneur, and I am feeling all of the feels that I need and want to feel. A couple of days ago, this past Sunday, I had a 5-year anniversary Girl Boss event for my consulting business and for the Girl Boss brand. And this time, we did things a little differently. So every year, I have an event. Sometimes it's twice a year, and I have a brunch. And my mom would help me with the brunch, my sister, my friends, and it's like just a brunch. And like the big hit is the brunch. And this year was very, very different. I'm always super focused on how good the food's going to be and, you know, just like if it's going to be an enjoyable event. And this year I focused on if it's going to be a purposeful event. So we did not do a brunch. We instead had some pass hors d'oeuvres, which were delicious, by the way. We also incorporated a panel. So we had a panel discussion of 5 women in business, including myself. And then I honored several women who are doing amazing things in business. And the response that I received from the event, like, is just like overjoy. Let me back up a little bit. So my first week as a full-time entrepreneur, I was super busy. Like I said in the past episode, I went to the Senators event. That was the first thing on Monday. And then I just had back-to-back things to do all week. So I didn't even get like a second to like really relax or anything. So after Sunday's event, I slept all day on Monday. But my phone was like blowing up, like between social media, between my text messages, between phone calls. I had so many missed calls. And when I got back to people and when I saw the things that they were writing on the internet, it was just like, wow, this was really, really an impactful event. I mean, women were crying because it was just so purposeful and they felt more than what it is that they believe of themselves. I remember my cousin, she was someone who was honored. And what she said was that Satara always makes me feel like I'm more than just a mom. I'm more than just a wife. And that really stuck with me to hear her say that publicly, especially. And then the women that I honored, they were like saying all these great things about me. And I was like, I appreciated it. But this is about y'all. But I guess that just really speaks volumes of the person that I am and the work that I do. And I'm mentioning all this because a couple months ago, I was on Threads and I just like got on Threads. I've been on Threads for like 2 months. And I met this woman who's an attorney. Her name is Heather Reese. Shout out to Heather. And she was looking for people to come on her podcast or her live podcast. And out of all of the people who responded, like I was one person who she's like, yeah, I definitely want you on my show. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I really like what you're doing with the Girl Boss brand. And at the time, I wouldn't say that I took a step back from the Girl Boss brand, but I could say that it wasn't the first thing on my mind. I think that while I was in the transition from leaving my corporate job, my main focus was on my consulting firm and making sure that I have enough clients so that I could sustain myself and I could pay my bills and I could be able to make it through. And when Heather took the time to look at my website, which I don't know, I've had the same website for years now. Like, I don't know, maybe I did it 3 or 4 years ago. But when she mentioned the Girl Boss brand, something just clicked, and it was like, okay, this is important. Like, this isn't something that was just a trend. Like, the Girl Boss brand is a movement. The Girl Boss brand is a community. The Girl Boss brand is bigger than what you actually think that it is. And this last event that I had just confirmed everything that Heather made me think and feel. And I'm grateful that I'm creating a space where people feel supported. What was also important about the event was that there were so many women who were leading in their particular fields, and there was a vast array of fields that were represented at the event. I mean, we had travel agents, we had people who were in the retail industry, we had people who were jewelers, we had women who just owned a whole bunch of different companies. One woman owns a sensory space. It was just so many different women to connect to. But I think that although there was a lot of different industries represented, it felt like a safe space. We all had one thing in common. We were all women building something, and it was all love. Like, you know, sometimes like when you go somewhere and like everything feels good, but there's like a little hater or someone that says something weird. It was all love at this event. And when I think about my journey being an entrepreneur, I never had that sense of community. I literally, what's the term? Got it out the mud. I had to figure everything out on my own. And although my parents provided me with resources to better my life, to educate me, they never ran a business, or they ran businesses that they didn't sustain. They weren't experts in that area. And I think it's important to be in community. And I really didn't know what that meant until a few years ago. So I'm excited to see what comes of the Girl Boss brand. And I'm thinking of how to better support women outside of consulting. Because like I said, when I started my nonprofit, we didn't have ChatGPT at that time because this was like 10 years ago. But like, I was on Google. Like, if you see me, even now, if you see me on my phone, I'm not texting people. I am doing some type of work, whether I could be writing an essay on my phone. I could be writing a grant on my phone. I'm probably answering emails. I'm probably looking something up on ChatGPT or Google. But I had to maneuver in spaces that I did not know how to, and I did not feel comfortable in. And it's very challenging to learn and grow when you don't have support. So to go back to the Girl Boss brand community, everyone's like, when's the next panel? When's the next event? Can I get on the podcast? Like, what's next? And I don't really know what the answer is as to what's next, but I know that when I was in spaces, and I'm like the founder of my nonprofit, 23 years old, and I'm in a room full of older white men, and no one looks like me, and they're all the CEOs making 6 figures in their businesses. I wish, I don't want to say that I wish, because I don't regret any parts of my journey, but if I had a mentor, if I had someone who took me under their wing as a professional to guide me in these rooms, to guide me how to handle myself in these conversations, I think that I would be much further in my career. I think that I would have made a lot less mistakes than I've made. And I think that a long time ago, I would have removed my feelings from the work that I do. which essentially would get me much farther in life. So through my consulting firm, SB Consulting Firm, I feel like I do that work. But after having an event of 50 plus people of all different industries and all different ages, I'm kind of like, how do I create a bigger platform? Like, how can I be more of service to others? And when thinking of being of service to others, when I was deep in my nonprofit, I thought like, this is what God wants me to do. I am here, I'm doing the Lord's work, and this is exactly what he wants me to do. And if you asked me like 6 years ago, I would have never thought that I would pivot or move in a different direction, because I thought 100%, 150% that that's what I was destined to do. And in the season that I'm in right now, I believe that I'm still supposed to be a vessel and I'm still supposed to assist others, but it just looks differently. And I'm not trying to rush exactly what that looks like. But I'm very, very excited, and I'm very, very grateful that right now I'm in the space, and now this is week 2 of being a full-time entrepreneur, and I've been resting, and I'm like, am I depressed? Like, am I sleeping because I'm depressed, or am I resting? And no, I'm resting because I was burnt out from my corporate job. I was burnt out from traveling to New York City. I was burnt out from trying to juggle my 9 to 5 and do everything else on the side. And right now I'm surrounding myself with people who are full-time entrepreneurs, who have been full-time entrepreneurs. I'm surrounding myself with people who have done things that I want to do. And I'm just blocking out all the noise of anything that doesn't look like support, of anything that I have to question, and anything that just doesn't feel right. So I'm very, very excited. I don't know what is to come. I have an idea, and like I said before, I have a strategy of how I'm going to survive and pay my bills and take care of myself. But I can't pinpoint exactly what that does look like. So if you hear me or see me on social media saying I'm doing something new, just go with it. I think a lot of things right now are about trial and error. And I think a lot of people miss the mark because they don't get started. And I'm the type of person that it does not have to be 150% perfect in order for me to take a shot at it. We could be at 98, but if I don't try something, if I don't put it out there, then I'm going to be at 0. So that's kind of how I'm rolling with this whole entrepreneur life right now. And it feels good not to be in control. And if you know me, I am like a control freak, and I want to know from A to Z what's happening all the time. So right now, I'm just vibing. You know, even at my event, it was very chill. It was very soft girl. It was very demure. It was very, very soft. And I was like, you think everyone's okay? I was doing too much to my friends, and everything was perfectly fine. So I am on this new ride. I guess it will be a roller coaster, right? Because who knows what to expect. But if you don't take that initial step, you will never get started. And life is all about getting started, trying new things, and finding your happiness. So stay tuned for another episode of The Strategy is Her to see where we are a week from now.